I went from, as I said, getting a couple leads a month, call it 2 to 4 leads a month. I think in June, looks like we got 40 leads. And really, that's only quality leads. We got more than that, typically between 30 and 50% that are converting to an actual bid. The numbers kind of speak for themselves in terms of getting 5x the lead flow I was getting before.
We have Cory here. He's been with us for about 6 months now. At the end of June, when we first started getting leads. Cory, can you please introduce yourself, introduce your market, and how we got in touch?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Spencer. I'm Cory. I bought a commercial cleaning business a little over 2 years ago. We're strictly commercial, no residential. We have some specialty attachment to that, but when you think of your janitorial commercial services, that's what we do.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. And if you were to just touch on what you were doing before, what was working, what wasn't working. I remember when we first started, you're a little bit skeptical around the price. It's a fixed price. And you were also using other lead generation partners and other ways to get leads. And so you're trying to make sure that you're getting the best cost per lead and result and return on investment. So if you could walk us through that situation, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. The name of the game obviously is just ROI. And so I've gravitated before meeting you to more success-based pricing where you could kind of, model out that ROI, in detail. There's less ambiguity and uncertainty that way. So that's historically what I gravitated to. Again, I've only owned this business for 2 years. Before that, my background is, I was an analyst at hedge funds picking stocks. So, not blue collar business operator or in sales. So a lot of what I've been trying to do is just discover what works here. Before meeting you, I used another cold email company that, charged by lead and just wasn't getting a lot of leads, maybe one quality lead a month. And while it was quality, there was just no way I was going to scale through that. I tried having internal sales guys knocking on doors and cold callers, both direct and using, third parties. And, it just very lumpy results. Some months you might not get a lead. Some months you might get 5. And the quality of those was very variable as well. I've been searching for a good way to really just fill the top of the funnel and, keep the top of the funnel full. And I met you through cold email when you reached out to me. And, I was a little skeptical, as you said, because the fixed cost number was not low and it wasn't success based. So there was a lot of that, uncertainty and kind of risk that I had to take that it would end up working out. Your model in terms of not charging until you get X amount of leads was definitely able to give me some comfort and move me kind of past that ledge.
Yeah. The guarantee of knowing that you're going to get a certain amount of 100%. So that makes me want to pivot into the results. Again, we started in the end of June of 2025. So let's get into the numbers. Walk us through like the number of leads you get on a monthly basis. How many of those are quality leads? How many of those are turning into actual conversations, walkthroughs? And then talk about that pipeline.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, we started up in June and, you have the whole warm-up process and all of that. But, I went from, as I said, getting, a couple leads a month, call it 2 to 4 leads a month before in a good month. I think in June, looks like we got 40 leads. And really, that's only quality leads. We got more than that. So I track more leads that fit my bucket in terms of size of business, frequency of service, location, and all of that. So the lead number was even larger than that. I would say going through the months, and I haven't finished going through November, but since then it's been consistently, a bad month is 20 leads, 20 good leads that I'm excited about, and I'm typically getting between 20 and 30 leads a month. And those are converting, at about 50%. Some months are closer to 30, but typically I'm between 30 and 50% that are converting to an actual bid and converting to sales from there. I'm at your kind of standard 30, 33% or so. So from there. So the whole goal of filling that top of the funnel and then getting kind of conversion from there is really played out nicely.
Awesome. And remind me, you're the only one in the mix for the scheduling piece, talking to these people, validating the leads and doing the walkthroughs.
Yeah, I mean, I have a team that will help maybe on more of the walkthroughs, but yeah, I'm getting the inbound leads, I'm doing the outreach and the scheduling. Yeah. Yeah, and just to kind of add some more numbers, my cost per lead, and again, these are a little even overstated because the numbers I'm talking about are just kind of leads that fit what I want to target, are cheaper than what I'm paying on per lead type basis. So not only am I getting leads at scale, the cost is cheaper.
I love it. Yeah, definitely. It's what you get. You get what you pay for. At the same time, you want to make sure that you get a return on your investment. I'm with you. If you were just to touch on the overall impact on you, the team, you mentioned that it's mostly you and then there's people helping out with the walkthroughs. So it's proof that you can do this as a one-man band from the scheduling to actually being able to take these leads and put them into opportunities. I get that concern with some people that I speak to, like, we need multiple people on our staff to actually make this work. You don't. Cory's doing it. He's having people help with the walkthroughs, but again, he could probably do this.
The walkthroughs that I'm having them do are more not even really outbound. They're coming from referrals or things like that they're kind of adding capacity to. In terms of managing your leads, from inbound lead from your team to sending out a proposal, I'm handling 99%, let's say. Rarely is the team getting involved. I haven't really gone on vacation since we've started working together or put in the process there, but it's very doable. Also, I have on my list for this month the way the process works in terms of inbound lead is you can automate with AI in terms of at least outreach to the customer and then maybe taking it over from there or something like that. But so I'll get a lead, I'll respond through a call. Most of the time they don't answer. I'll follow up with an email with, a generic template with a proposal that can very easily be automated. And then once you get something scheduled, you could kind of take it over from there. So yeah, it's not creating a bottleneck at all.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate that. Any last feedback before we hang up here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd just say the question before you had on impact, it was large. The numbers kind of speak for themselves in terms of getting 5x the lead flow I was getting before. And you can imagine just knowing industry churn in this business, how stressed a business owner gets, when you're getting a couple leads a month and you're paying, it's not a low fixed cost business if you have a team. So the impact on the stress levels and the confidence of just knowing that I'm going to wake up and have leads and meetings and proposals to write have been significant.
So if you do want more leads sent over to grow your business, go to the link in the description below for this video, click on it, schedule a time with us, and we'll talk about how we can grow your business with exclusive quality commercial leads on a regular basis.